Hey, Nicole here with Cause for Paws. I'm sitting here with Hannah from Sit Means Sit. She's one of the head trainers here, and we're just chatting about some training. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you.
You know, we preach over at Cause for Paws when we adopt a dog, training, socialization. So I just kind of want to chat with you, kind of let people know why we preach that. Like, why do we talk about puppy class? Why do we talk about puppy socialization? What's the importance of that?
Yeah, so puppy class is super, super important. One of the first things that we need to do is get puppies understanding good social skills with other dogs and learning healthy ways to play with one another where they're not getting too rough or they're not getting aggressive or they're not overly fearful, and they're learning how to interact with other dogs their age. So puppy class, starting as early as you can, is going to be really, really important. If not just for the socialization aspect, but also just for training and getting them understanding healthy and good habits before we develop bad ones. So in the puppy class, I always tell people we want to form good habits instead of allowing bad habits to begin. So even if your dog's not pulling through a door when they're 10 weeks old, we're starting door manners already. I want that to be a routine. The dog hesitates and they wait for permission at the door rather than just learning to bolt through it, and then we have to come back and correct a problem. I'd rather start it off on the right track.
So proactive rather than training the bad habits out, we're training good habits in before they start.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And tell me about the unsocialized puppies and what happens if you don't socialize your puppy young. What happens later in life?
Yeah, we have a lot of adult dogs who come through who are not socialized as puppies, and it really shows more often than not. They can get pretty aggressive. They just don't understand other dogs. So when they're on a walk and they see another dog, they get overstimulated. It could transfer into aggression. It could just be leash reactivity. Maybe they just really, really want to play and they don't understand what that looks like. So we see a lot of aggression, leash reactivity. We also see anxiety as well. Again, they just don't understand, and so they're really fearful around other dogs, and the fearfulness can also turn to aggression. So again, the sooner we can get them socialized and understanding that other dogs are not a threat and it's actually a good thing to play with other dogs, the better then you'll see that transfer into adult life.
And so you recommend as early as possible puppy class.
Yes.
And then how long should you be socializing your dog for?
For their whole life. Into a dog's adult life, we hear people a lot of time taking them to dog parks and there'll be some kind of incident and it might set them back a little bit in socialization or might make them a little bit fearful. So it's important to continue to socialize your dogs around other dogs who have good social skills even as they're into adult life, to make sure that your dog maintains those same social skills.
Because they could fall behind and kind of forget what they had learned. Just like we all do. Who remembers algebra from high school? None of us.
Right.
But if we continued with it, we would remember it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So when you're socializing a dog, it's not necessarily just dog on dog. There's other things that you should expose them to. Tell me about that.
No, it's getting them used to new people, all different types of people, all ages. When we train our clients for therapy team, we have them get around elderly, we have them get around children, people with special needs. It's just taking them out and about. I have my clients go to like Lowe's and Home Depot, go to PetSmart. It's really important to socialize your dog with people who maybe smell different than you, maybe look different than you, so that it's not a big shock. We actually recommend our clients take their dog here in Raleigh to the flea market. It's outdoor. There's an indoor bet, and you can take your dog in there as well, but there's sewers. They'll like put tarps over some of the tables when they're done, and it makes a loud noise when the wind blows. There's food, there's people, there's cars, there's noise. It's like a lot for the dogs to take in, and it's really good to be able to take your dog there and socialize them and get them exposed to so many different sights and smells. It's really important to be able to take your dogs downtown. I know y'all host a lot of events downtown and in breweries, so where you can just go and hang out with your dog around all that commotion and get them used to it, and that's huge.
So when you're socializing a dog, let's say you come up to a situation that's scary, how do you work through that with them?
So you would just want to reward baby steps. So we're gonna set the criteria for your reward based on where your dog's at. So my dog's really confident, so my criteria for him is really, really high. If we go downtown and we're passing a sewer grate, I know he's really confident with that. We've done a lot of exposure with things downtown, and so he's really fine. So I would reward him after we pass a lot of sewer grates. Maybe your puppy is not as confident with that, so maybe I'll reward if she gets one step closer. And that's my criteria for her, is really, really low. And the criteria is slowly gonna get higher as I know my dog. So something might happen. Maybe you're passing a sewer grate and there's a loud noise and you get set way back. Your criteria is gonna have to go back down. So we're gonna reward the small steps and we're gonna build it up as we go.